Alright, howdy howdy. This is my code for the Zebra Stripes project. Um, basically, I'll be going through this in a minute. Basically, what this project was using fractals to basically draw these cool little arcs, and over time it builds what looked like zebra stripes. So basically, I augmented the code to take a bunch of screenshots, which were all compiled in this massive screenshots folder. There's about 8,000 screenshots that we then put together using Blender and created a video. I'm not going to run the program because it absolutely slows down my computer. However, what I did was compiled everything into this program, and I'm going to kind of play it here, skipping through a little bit for time. And it's going to basically draw out these fractal arcs in real time. And yeah, we can see that it's every single time it draws a line, it will take a screenshot, and then we end up with this masterpiece that's about 5 minutes long. But we can see it goes from left to the right, and then just slowly draws these lines and builds what appears to look like zebra stripes. And there we go. That is the program output. Once again, I'm not going to be running it because I don't have the power right now to run it. My laptop's on like 20%, so running through this code, majority of it is unchanged from the textbook, so I'm not sure exactly how much I should go into depth here. Just some basic stuff, I guess. We have our width and height of our screen that we set up. We have a buffered image, which is a thing that we import here from the Java AWT package. We use this basically to create our image itself, and then we have a 2D graphics here, which we call G2D. An important thing that I did change, though, is we set up a screenshots folder, which is how we save all of our screenshots, because I didn't want like 8,000 loose screenshots in my repository here. And the way we do that is we basically check to see if the folder exists already, and if it doesn't, we just call make directory, or mkdir. We basically give it a name here too. We're going to say it's going to be called screenshots. We can make a file this way, but I think it's mkfil to make a similar file that way, but this time we're using a directory. Everything else is pretty much straight from the Zebras textbook code, where we're setting a background color and we're filling the rectangle with a background that we end up drawing over. We have a random here to actually set up our fractals. And then, yeah, we sort of just go through. We have a couple adjusts that we use for each arc. Each adjust here corresponds to a different arc. And then we connect the arcs. And then an important note is that every single time that we connect an arc together, we call this save screenshot. This save screenshot is what I added to Zebra code, which actually allows us to save a screenshot. But yeah, we are using this draw fractal arc function for the most part, just by going through, and we're passing in our G2D, which we defined up here as our graphics 2D. And then we're also passing it, there it is, a couple different things. Our X1 or Y1, our X2 and Y2. So basically think about every time that we draw an arc, we need a starting position in any position. So X1, Y1 is our start, our X2, Y2 is our end. And then we need a depth of how far we want it to go, and then a curve of how much we want it to actually curve. And then finally, this Boolean is left at the end. So yeah, that's pretty much all we got. This is the draw fractal arc function, where we have like this vector of integers here, and we're adding our starting position and our ending position, and then we're checking if it's left. If it is, we're going to add it to our left PTS or left points, and otherwise we're going to add it to our right points here. And then finally, it saves a screenshot every time we run this. This is pretty much it. The code is pretty simple. I guess one last thing that we can go over here is our save screenshot. So it's going to save it to our file name, which is basically just iterating from 0, and then every single time we save a screenshot, it'll iterate up 1. And then that's all that this formatting here is doing. And then we are writing our file and saving it, and then updating our counter to be +1, so that next time the number is increased by 1. So very simple. And then we have a simple try catch here, just in case the screenshot were to fail for whatever reason. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you.